Hey there, thanks for coming to see us today. I have your intake form right here, so let's just get started. All right, you said that you are struggling with working memory and self regulation. Okay. You've also said that have you have trouble planning, focusing your attention, juggling tasks, achieving goals. Yeah, I know what your problem is. So it's really great because the solution is really easy. Your problem is that you're lazy, and the solution is that you just try harder. For people who struggle with executive dysfunction, being told to just try harder is not going to do anything except make us feel worse for not being able to do the things that we really want to do. If you have ADHD or autism or depression and you're someone who struggles with executive functioning, then you know how frustrating it is to have people tell you that you can do the things you want to do if you just try. If you just try harder. Executive functioning and executive dysfunction is not about trying, it's about the way that your brain works. And this video is not going to go into how people with executive dysfunction, how their brain differs from those who don't struggle with executive functioning, but I just want to preface this by saying if you're someone who feels down sometimes about not being able to do all the things that you want to do for yourself, then that's okay. This video is to help you to be able to do those things, and hopefully by the end of this video, if these are not strategies that you're already using, then you'll be able to take these strategies and use them for yourself and mold them to what works for you. I just wanted to share these with you because I have found that these really helped me, especially the last one. The last one is something that I developed recently, and I thought that other people could benefit from it as well. Before I get into the 3 executive functioning strategies that I have, I wanted to tell you a bit about what executive functioning is and what executive dysfunction looks like. This is a definition that I cobbled together based off of various definitions online. Executive functioning, and I'm going to come back to this clipboard, but executive functioning is a set of mental skills that include working memory, flexible thinking, and self control. These are self regulation skills and cognitive processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember, juggle multiple tasks successfully, and achieve goals. Alright, there was no way I was going to remember all of those things because that's one of the issues, that's one of the problems with executive functioning is working memory. I had this clipboard to help me organize this video because unlike the last video, I have things I want to say, and if I don't write anything down, it's gonna be all over the place. So this clipboard is actually it's not one of the strategies that I wanted to tell you about, but it's a strategy that I use for myself in order to make the video to tell you about the strategies I want to tell you about. So what executive dysfunction looks like. A lot of people will confuse executive dysfunction for laziness. I think when people say that someone is lazy, and they imagine someone who, maybe they needed to vacuum the house and then they're just like, nah, not today. Maybe tomorrow. I would rather watch TV, play video games. So maybe that's laziness. But then executive dysfunction is when you're like, oh God, I really need to vacuum the house. I've been putting it off. I actually really want to vacuum the house. Okay, I can get up, I can vacuum the house, and then you get distracted, and then you come back and you're like, oh, great. Now more time has gone by and I haven't vacuumed the house. Okay, what else could I do? And then you're just trying, every time you try to think about do this one task, either it feels like such a chore or you forget about it, you just like get sidetracked. So to me, there's a big difference between laziness and executive dysfunction. Another example would be, hunger is a great one because like your body has signals to tell you when you need to eat. If you're lazy and you're hungry, then I guess, I don't know, you order delivery or you go to the kitchen and you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or you just make the easiest thing you can find. If you have executive dysfunction and you're hungry, you just stay hungry. Like you'll be like at 12 o'clock, I need to eat lunch. And then it's 2 o'clock and you're like, what happened? What happened to lunch? Well, maybe what happened was you just couldn't like muster the energy to get up and go make lunch because you were thinking, okay, well, I don't know what I'm gonna make for lunch, and I don't even know, I didn't wash the plates that I need to use to put my lunch together. And I'm honest, I don't know if you like heard that side, but I'm speaking from experience because this is one of my biggest struggles is cooking. And so it has nothing to do with laziness. It's really about the way that your brain works and the way that your brain figures out how to accomplish a task. If the goal is to do chores or to make lunch or to write an essay, someone with executive functioning skills that are pretty good will figure out how to do that. They might not enjoy doing it, but they'll figure out how to do it. Someone with executive dysfunction will be like, they'll also want to do those things, and then it'll just be so difficult. And maybe the way that it will feel easiest is when it's the last minute, because then you have adrenaline and you have cortisol. And if you were to go and research executive functioning, you'd actually find out how these chemicals will help you, like, I guess, overcome what your natural, like, homeostasis of not being able to get things done. And it's so frustrating. And that's why I have these tips for you. So the first one is habit tracker app. So you can, whether you're iOS or Android, you can find a habit tracker. I use something called, I think it's called Loop. I'm on Android. And this is great for me because it's a visual reminder. By the way, everything that I'm telling you right now is an external strategy. For me, it's really helpful to have a visual reminder because if I rely on my memory, then it's not reliable. I can't rely on my memory. I can rely on my memory for things like what year did that song come out? You tell me any song and I'll tell you what year it came out, as long as I was alive and aware of music at that time. With the Habit Tracker app, it's really helpful to have a visual reminder of a list of things that you want to do probably every day or quite often. It's important, though, to not beat yourself up if you don't do all of the things on your Habit Tracker app every day. So the way that I add things to my Habit Tracker app, first of all, I add them one at a time, because you don't want to, if these things aren't habits yet, then you don't want to overload yourself and try to create 6 new habits at once. And you'll just set yourself up for disappointment. If these are already habits and you're just adding them so that you remember that these are things that you want to do, then go ahead and add them all at once. Here are the things that I track on my Habit Tracker app: meditate, journal, language study, astrogeomagic, which is the book that I'm working on, vitamin D, and yoga. So those are 6 things, and I added them one at a time. I would work on them, and then as they started to become a habit, then I would add another. I don't do all these things every day, but they have become habits. But even though they become habits, I still look at my Habit Tracker app to remind me of my habits, because I know that I can do them, but I need to remember to do them. Does that make any sense? So I think people think that habits are like things that you do regularly, and it's like, yeah, I can do it regularly for the most part, but if I don't remember that it's something that I do regularly, then I won't do it, and then I'm not doing it regularly. So maybe this only makes sense if you struggle with executive functioning, and that's who this video is for. So, and the things that I track, right? So I have meditation and journaling, and I think those are things that people would typically put on a Habit Tracker app. But vitamin D, I don't know. Like for me, yeah, I had to put on an app to remind myself to go outside and get sunlight. Because if I don't do that, if I don't put it down as a visual reminder, I can spend days inside and then be like, when was the last time I went outside? Why is my mood off? And it's like, oh yeah, I haven't been outside in like 4 days. I'm not joking. Like, especially with COVID, it's not that I don't want to do these things. I just need to be reminded of them, and I remind myself to do them with an external app. The next thing is motivational audiobooks and podcasts. I actually haven't tried this with a motivational podcast. I don't have any that I can think of. If you know any, then please let me know in the comments. The content quality of the motivational audio needs to be really good for me. Like, you know, when you read a self help book and then you're just like, wow, I can do anything. I understand the human condition. I am about to just tackle all of my goals and all of my challenges, and I'm ready. And then you have that feeling and it doesn't last for very long, and then the next thing you know, you're looking for another self-help book so that you can get that feeling back, so that you can do that thing you want to do. What I figured out is to take that energy and use it while you're doing something that they're not talking about. I'll just tell you about what I'm listening to. So I'm listening to a book called Take Control of Your Life. It's by Mel Robbins. In it, she interviews, I think, four to six different people about their life, and she coaches them about how their life feels out of control and how they're driven by fear. And Mel Robbins, I don't know a lot about her, but I actually think she has ADHD. So this makes a lot of sense. She's really good at motivating people. I felt so motivated when I listened to her talk, and she's talking about people want to start businesses, want to get over old relationship trauma, want to, I can't remember, but when you listen to it, you're like, wow, like I'm not trying to start a business. I just want to go and make dinner. And that's exactly what I do. So anytime that there's something that I need to do, where I am able to focus on listening to something in the background, when it's something that I'm struggling to do, like making dinner or going to wash my hair, because that just takes a long time and it always feels like a feat, or tidying up, then I put on the audiobook, and that motivation that just like courses through you when you're listening to her talk and like inspire people, use that energy to do the really small thing. So big motivational energy, small task. Like, yeah, the things that she's talking about, you could also use what she's saying to do that. You could use what she's saying to start the business, or but those are all things that that happen after you're done listening to the audiobook, and it's always harder to do the thing when you're outside of the influence of the self-help book or audio, right? You always notice that there's a difference in how you feel. But if you're listening to it and doing something, you can't, like, the energy is there, the inspiration is there as you're doing the thing, and that really works for me. So the first time that I used this strategy and I just figured it out, it was when I was washing my hair, and I just took my speaker into the bathroom and was listening to this inspirational talk. And the great thing is the book goes on for so long that you can just use it all around the house, all around your day, all around the week, all along the week. And yeah, you can funnel the energy you get from self-help books into achieving really, I won't say small because they feel big if you struggle with executive functioning, but you can funnel the energy you get from self-help books into more fundamental tasks, right? You don't have to start a business, but you can make yourself dinner. The last thing I have for you, and this is my favorite, it's a motivational sticker chart. For a long time, I was like, all right, I have my habit tracker app, and these things are really helpful to be doing to be doing every day or almost every day. But the basic things where, like, I don't necessarily call them habits, like feeding myself, it's not a habit. It's what I need to be doing. And actually, this is not something I did. This is not something I put on the chart. If that's not a good example. How about buying groceries? Okay, going grocery shopping has always been a struggle for me. I don't enjoy being in the grocery store. It's stressful. The only grocery store that I really enjoy being in is Trader Joe's, and I don't have that anymore. So, yeah. Grocery stores have so many people. They have, if you go into really big ones, then there are too many products, too many choices. It's so overwhelming. And even now that I've started ordering groceries online, you still have to go online, look through Hey, sorry, I ran out of space on my phone while I was in the middle of talking about why I don't like grocery shopping. Instead of getting back into that, I'm just gonna leave that there and tell you about this sticker chart that I use to help me do things like buy groceries. So, if you see here, I have a list of activities and then I have dates all along the top, and there's no month written in. I just wrote it at the top. You can also do this in the software that you use to make the sticker chart, because yeah, I made this myself. I tried to find sticker charts online, but I didn't find anything that looked like what I needed. Yeah, I would recommend doing it on Google Docs like I did it, because then it's super customizable. All you do is insert a table, change the widths of the squares to be able to fit a sticker, and then, put in as many rows for as many tasks that you want to accomplish. So the activities that I have are laundry, vacuuming, dishes, taking out trash, tidying up for 5 minutes, buying groceries, cleaning the shower, and cleaning the sink. And there's one more that I'll talk about later. But these are things that I put here because for me, I'll just put these off, or I'll struggle to do these. It's really hard to find the momentum to be able to do these things. But knowing that I can, one, that I have a visual reminder showing me that I haven't done this in a while, or a visual reminder that if I do this, that I can have a sticker, then it really helps me. And the one thing that's on here that I didn't read out was be awesome. And I put that there because no matter what, on any day, if I haven't done the things that I would like to do, like these other chores, it's okay. Like my worth is not measured by tasks that I accomplish, or even if I do nothing in a day, that doesn't make me less of a person. It doesn't mean that I failed. And so I like to be awesome as a reminder that, no matter what I did in that day, I still deserve to pat myself on the back. So if you see this where there's a whole row of stickers, that's because I was awesome every single day. With the motivational sticker chart, just like with the habit tracker app, please don't beat yourself up if you don't do these things. The point is not to show yourself what you're not doing. The point is to give yourself a visual reminder and an external reminder of what you know that you can accomplish. And if today is not the day that you accomplish it, then that's okay. It happens on the day that it happens. For me, the point of this was not that I want to do these things every day. I just want to be able to see when I did them, and to be able to notice when I haven't been doing something in a while. I like to try to get at least 2 stickers a day. The most I've gotten in a day looks like 5. But like some of the things, like cleaning the shower, that's not something, the intention was not to be doing this every day. So if you look at the chart and there's not a star on every single square, that's okay. That's not the point. So there you have it. Those are some of my external strategies for executive functioning. If you like this video, please let me know. You can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe so that you can be notified of further videos. And if you do want to know more about strategies for executive function, I do have more that I can share. So if this is something you'd be interested in hearing about, then let me know. I'll see you next week with a new video. In the meantime, go forth, and I hope this helps you with doing the things that you want to do.